Hello, I hope you are doing great. So today we are going to continue working in the Blazor Restaurant project, and in this case we are going to add the add list, or we are going to add the list orders functionality for the admin users. So first thing we will see is what we will do is we will go to the Github repository, right? Remember that you can visit it in this link. The link is also in the video description in YouTube. Before I continue, please remember to like the channel, like the videos, share them. Also, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are notified when there are new videos in the channel. Also, please let us know in the comments things that you would like to learn about Blazor, .NET Core, .NET 5, Azure, Unity3d, and actually. In the near future, we will also start doing videos about .NET 6 and MAUI. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to create the order controller. Actually, I believe the order controller is already created, so we may not need to do that one. Now, we create an endpoint that lists orders, and we are going to sort the results by the row creation datetime, right? Then we are going to create the page for the admins to be able to see all of the orders that exist in the system, right? So let's go to the actually let's create a branch. I think admin list orders. Yes. Okay. And I created the branch. Now I am going to the controller. The controller already exists, right? Now I am going to create a list orders method, right? Or endpoint. So it's going to be a get. Right? It's going to be public async task of order model array list orders. Okay. Now we are going to allow only administrators to access these this endpoint, right? We are not going to allow any other user to see this one, right? So all orders equals with this the Blazor DB context order by descending row creation datetime, select this mapper.map from order to order model, and we are going to pass what we selected. To array async, and that's basically what we will be returning. Actually, I need something else in here. Dot include, dot order dot include. The actual user that created the order. So now let me see if the order model actually has that. So let's see. Okay, let's add the comments so I don't get the errors. And the order model, I don't think it has the user information in here, so we are going to add public application user model. Um, Actually, let's just public string owner. Okay, and now we are going to our auto mapping profile configuration, right? And we are going to search for the cast here from. There is nothing from order to order model at the moment, so we are going to create a map. Create map order to order model. After map, function source test, right? So if source application user is not null, test owner equals source application user full name. Yeah, I think that might work. Let's see. Yeah, let's use username, full name. Oh. Full name. Okay. Let's see. So we already implemented the query, right? Create order model. This. Okay. Now. Let's create a test. Okay. So this is going to inherit from test base. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a user, right? Let me check products controller. Class cleanup was public static. Okay, so this probably is also public static too. It's going to be a task. Let's see. Okay, so using data access, data, okay. Create DB context, okay. Application user, private, static application user, Let's see. Okay. That doesn't really matter at the moment. There are no orders in here, so this one might actually work. I need okay. Application user, do that. This user. Add a sync. Yes. Actually, okay, there's the add a sync. Save changes. Async. Admin role equals I know that one exists. So test user dot application user role is going to be application role ID. Actually, yes, application role ID equals, this one is single async. Didn't, yes, there it is. Okay, application ID is going, application role ID is going to be admin role, application role ID. Application user ID is going to be the test user application user ID, and should be able to do an update. Application user test user. So that should in theory initialize the user, right? Cleanup will be something similar, except that we get this. Blazor Restaurant DB context. that may not work because of the foreign keys to this table. We need to check that one. Application user, remove, test user, and await. Save changes async. So this will be for initializing, this will be for cleaning up, right? And now after I initialize, I should be able to after I initialize, I should be able to log in with this user actually. So let me check. Now for this one, let me see if this works. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to create a user. I will just find the user, the test user that is already created, and um, okay, okay. Okay, so now let's see, let's go back to the order controller test, right? I am not going to add the user. All I am going to do is part, and let me just delete this actually. Test user entity equals, oh wait, let's read the configuration. Actually, await Blazor application user where full name equals I don't think I have that configured at the moment, so let's do that. Single async. Let's just haircut it for a moment, and then I'll face it. Okay. So that's the test user. That's the test user entity. I do not need to insert nor update nor save changes in here. The one thing that I actually need to do is just do test user entity application user role equals new. Application user ID is test user entity dot application user ID. Application role ID equals admin role dot ID. Now I do have to do the save changes. Actually, the update user context dot update the test user entity, and let's do the await save changes async, so that in theory guarantees me that the user is an administrator for test, and we are not going to do anything in the cleanup at the moment. So I will need to create another user for having an admin user and a normal user for the tests instead of having to do that. But meanwhile, actually, let's just change the role at the moment. And then what we will do later on is instead of just calling this create authorized client async, we will have like two of these, one for the admin user and one for the, actually we will just use a parameter here, and depending on that we will pass the correct credentials. That will be that will make more sense actually. So let's see, we go to the database, right, and it hasn't been used for more than an hour, I think. So the database is probably off at the moment, and it's being initialized by um, it's been initialized. Remember that I am using an Azure SQL Server serverless database, and it's configured to automatically shut down if the database hasn't been hit um, in more than an hour. Okay, so let's see. Let's continue with this. But result, no, result equal get from as JSON async, was it? I always confuse if it's as JSON or from JSON. From JSON. Okay, JSON async order array, order model array. I'm sorry. We add the using, and we pass the URL API order list orders. And now assert is not null. Result that it shouldn't be null anyway, and assert that is true. Result dot len more than 0. Right. Now I forgot to do something in here. We do need to insert a test order, but at the moment we will just run it like this. So let's see. Select start from user application user, and interesting, I don't have the test user in here. Let's see why not. Okay, no way. Controllers. No, I'm sorry. This startup CS. So yeah, I could add the user, invoke the creation of the user from here. Basically do what this is doing, right? You don't need to do any claims. So I guess for now, just so I can continue, I'll command the authorize. and then I'll add all of the logic for that, because uh, for the administrator's case, actually, give me a second. Yes, for the administrator case, they are, if the user is not there, uh, we will not be able to get the roles claims, because the roles claims are actually retrieved from the database. So we won't be able to validate. That's something that I need to add. Okay, so if I run this like this, should be able to test it, I think. Let's go to the order controller and put a breakpoint in here just to verify it. And let's run this. So let's see, order list orders. Let's see if the endpoint is actually hit, right? And it says, let's see, we have the orders, and yeah, I added one in there. There is the other order. Now this is interesting. It says the order total is 0, which actually shouldn't be 0. Okay, yes, it should be 0 because I forgot to include the order details too. So let's see what it does now. So let's see what do the orders have. So this order, it says order detail. Okay, and then I need to include the product. Now order model has order detail model, it has the product model, and product model does not have anything else, I think. Okay, now I'm not flattening the objects to code a little bit easier, but that has a caveat, right? So it means that, for example, all of the lines will include all of the details for the products, right? So if you allow um, several lines to have the same product, you will have duplicated items in there. I am not allowing in the database. They are unique indexes to uh, restrict that to be done, right? But that's the thing. So yeah, it got the total already. It got the detail for this one, right? And it got the product information with all. So that will be the um, that will be all for this. So I am going to clean the test, right? Because I I'm not going to do that yet. So I know it works, so I can do that at the moment. So the application does have the correct user and all that. Let's see. So now the thing that I am going to do is I am going to the client project, to the admin. There is no orders folder in here. Orders, list, Razor component, list, right? The layout is going to be the admin layout, right? List all orders. Now I am going to create this ES class for this, right? Because remember, I don't like to have my code mixed with the HTML, except for only the ifs and things like that. List.razor.cs, right? It has to be a partial class. This is going to be for administrators, so that part is okay. Now we add the usings, right? We add this, and this is not going to be, this product is going to be list orders. We create so it doesn't allow me to create it, so let's just navigate to here and create a new one. This orders equals /admin orders list, right? List orders, right? And now I need to add that to the administration menu, which should be in here, shared admin menu. I had these products. Add product, I'm going to do it below this. So list orders, list orders. So that's already in the menu, and let's code the actual listing. So I will write on initialize async, right? We need to do the sync. We inject the HTTP client service. HTTP client service, right? HTTP client service, injected, okay. Variable is loading, false, right? Now let's see what else. Yeah, the try catch finally. Is loading equals false. Is loading equals true. Is authorize HTTP client equals HTTP client service dot create authorize HTTP client. Now we generate it. We also inject the Toastify service. Wait, is justify service error, and we show the message. Otherwise, is all orders equals, wait, please authorize HTTP client get from JSON async order model array API order list orders, and we create the variable okay, and that should bring the data. Let's do something like this, right? So we have a similar style to the others. So starting all orders, now the total pages is going to be all orders, right? And now let's see, enable delete, no. So should not need this. Enable edit, no. Should not need this. And yes. So let's see. This actually may not work. So actually, yeah, I'm only going to print the total. What does it say? Cannot be, okay, to stream. So I'm not gonna use a I'm not going to use this card, but the class card, right? The class card header. In there, what I am going to print is the total. In the cart footer, actually in the header, I'm going to print the owner. In the footer, I am going to print the total, and on the body we will print, let's just for the moment print this, and that will be it for now. And in the next video later on we will continue working on this. Thank you very much. Please remember to share the channel.